Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a roadmap update for Star Citizen's patches 3.1 to 3.4 coming out this year, 2018. Over the last month there has been some additions and changes to the roadmap. This is a summary of those changes to date. Please watch my videos on each of the patches for more precise information on other features therein, links below. The 3.1 update coming March has the additions of visor and HUD improvements and bug fixes. This includes ensuring the quality and legibility of the UIs, making it visually appealing and distinct between each manufacturer for ships. Expect a big cleanup and the UI elements to be a lot sharper too, and this will also probably propagate quite heavily to the mobiGlas and not just the HUDs on ships and helmets. Distress call service beacons. Now, in 3.1, you're going to be able to send out a distress signal, and that's going to allow other players to travel to your position. This initial system of service beacons basically allows players to call for help, and this is also going to create a marker that can be viewed by other players and then quantum traveled to. It's also going to have the mechanics to transfer Alpha UEC between players as rewards, and I believe it's also going to be enforced in-game, so once you've actually rescued them, you get paid automatically. But it's great that players are now going to be able to share Alpha UEC effectively. Weapons, they are updating the Galison Tactical Systems GT Series Galactic Ballistic Gun and the Amon Reese Omni-Sky Laser Cannon line of ship weapons. So these are getting new assets, animations, and new balance. Those HUD improvements and the GT Series updates are entirely new entries. The Omni-Sky updates have moved from patch 3.3, and the distress beacons have moved from 3.2 all into 3.1. So it shows that they do get stuff pushed forwards, even by a couple of patches, if they are ready for it. And there's lots of stuff not on the schedule, so remember that as well. Again, there's a video on stuff that is not on the schedule, but potentially might be coming this year. Links in the description below. The 3.2 update coming June has seen the update of a new entry, Service Beacon Repairs. So this is paying another player to find and repair your ship, and it builds off the distress call functionality. This service beacon feature would allow players to pay another player to travel to the location and provide repairs to them. The 3.3 update coming September has had two new entries. Network entity streaming. This is more of the multiplayer streaming side of object container streaming, and it's restructuring how the network code handles entity spawning and binding to allow an asynchronous streaming. This should give us big gains performance-wise when combined with object container streaming, also coming in this update. There was also environmental blending shaders as a task, which is the development of a multi-layered shader for objects that support dirt, sand, and ice in particular. For this particular one, although it is going to get more complex with more biomes in the future, and it allows the objects to believably blend with their environment on the surfaces of planets and moons. So basically where biomes meet, they need to blend together in a sensible way, not look weird. When objects of different types are scattered on a snowy surface compared to a sandy surface, they need to make sure that they actually blend in with that terrain. 3.4 has had some major additions. Server meshing. This is the first iteration of the server meshing technology that is core to Star Citizen. With this system, individual servers would be responsible for different locations within any particular given solar system. When operational, players and entities should experience seamless transitions between servers during quantum travel. So they are basically having quantum travel as the barrier between servers, it sounds like, with server meshing, which makes sense. They're also coming with a lobby refactor in 3.4. So this is the lobby and session management to allow for server meshing, and it's going to allow them to connect those multiple servers and clients together in the same game session. These two features are essential for Star Citizen's massively multiplayer online persistent universe. If it all works as intended, we will start to see hundreds, thousands, and then potentially everyone in a single mega server, though this is basically lots of servers stitched together. Another task, procedural city rendering performance. So they're further developing the technology that allows large cities to render more efficiently in-engine regardless of distance from the camera. Big city planets will need performance updates. We know that. The moons we have are quite small compared to some of the large city planets. And with those city planets or planets that have large civilizations or hero locations on or whatever, they are going to need some performance updates for that because they are rendering beautiful things at very long distances. They are also improving space scenery aesthetics as a task. So they're using some of the elements of their gas cloud and other tech improvements to update the quality of asteroid fields, space scenery, and that sort of stuff to create more interesting space environments. Basically, space will be prettier. And that's kind of it for the roadmap updates this month, though there was a couple of other bits of info though. They are currently testing some economy, mission, reward, and balance tests in 3.0.1 to get metrics for future patches, because in 3.1 and 3.2, we are going to see balance passes and pushes on the economy, so the purchase of ships with Alpha UEC is likely to be coming in one of those two patches as well, things like that. But lots more items to buy, they're testing progression, they want to see what time it takes for you to do what and when and how, and all that sort of stuff, so there are gameplay hooks, the rewards for missions are correct, things like that. Also, the Carrack is currently on hold while they are working on other ships. They will update us in the future with any movement that the Carrack makes, but it's a perfectly normal part of the pipeline process for them to be awaiting resources sometimes before they move forward with certain stages of ships, while they basically, in the shorter term, prioritize other ships. We've got lots of ships coming out with 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4, so potentially we could have the Carrack still this year, towards the end of the year, but don't hold your breath on that yet. We will have to wait and see what progress is made on the other things, and then if it gets scheduled in for that. Every month we have a giveaway. For February, it's via an 8 to 90 jump donated by our featured org, Synchronizers. They are an org that plan to encompass all of the game players that Star Citizen has to offer, but they do oppose piracy. They seek to add members to their mature family of both casual and more hardcore players alike, but there's no real other restrictions on membership. Links below if you're interested in checking them out. They have an active Discord and are playing Star Citizen now. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that 890 jump though is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen content during the month. Do you have any questions about Star Citizen or Squadron 42's development, gameplay mechanics, anything we talked about in the roadmap, or suggestions for a video, chuck them in the comments below. A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of those very special chaps, then follow links to Patreon down below too, as well as everything else we've talked about is there. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.